LA Rider is brought to you by the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign, a 501c3 nonprofit organization exclusively dedicated to promoting motorcycle awareness and rider safety throughout Louisiana and the nation.
I didn't see him.
She just came out of nowhere.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Watch for us.
See us.
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 Watch for us.
Save us.
Nearly two-thirds of all motorcycle fatalities are caused by distracted and inattentive drivers. Please, watch for motorcycles.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another great edition of LA Rider, Louisiana's only television program exclusively dedicated to motorcycle travel, lifestyles, and adventure. I'm T.W. Robinson, and we're so glad you're joining us today. This week, we see how Texas rider Mike Pruitt turned his grief over the loss of his child into a growing organization dedicated to helping families cope with pediatric brain cancer. We also visit the Nation of Patriots annual Baton Rouge fundraiser, where bikers work to assist wounded veterans and their families. And we look at ways to stay cool during hot weather riding. All this and more coming up on this week's edition of LA Rider. So kickstands up, everybody. It's time to take a ride. Each year, individual motorcyclists, clubs, and riding groups donate their time, their labor, and their hard-earned dollars to dozens of charitable causes across the nation. As a group, bikers are very generous people, and there's nothing like a good cause to bring us together. Last week, we met a man that has turned that caring nature and a personal tragedy into a growing nonprofit organization that is bringing bikers together to help victims of childhood cancer. Cool cars and hot bikes filled the Freedom Harley-Davidson parking lot on an incredibly warm summer Saturday recently.
Special order in November '87. A special ordered it in November '87 and got it in February '88. One owner, 44,000 miles on it.
A blazing sun and soaring temperatures did nothing to deter the dozens of classic car and bike collectors who came to show their rides.
I love it.
What is it?
All in support of the Ryland Strong Network's first ever Louisiana event. The network was founded by Mike Pruitt, who lost his son, Rylan George Lee Pruitt, to a rare form of pediatric brain cancer in 2022.
In 2021, my then 6-year-old Rylan was diagnosed with medullomyoblastoma. It was a very, very rare form of pediatric brain cancer. So rare, in fact, that he was the 51st known case in the United States. 10 months later, we fought, and we went for his end of treatment scans, and there was a small spot on his spine. 6 weeks later, the cancer had basically eaten him up. They told us we had 3 months. I held him as he died 6 days later. So it was a hard time.
Pruitt, an avid motorcyclist and president of the Servant Souls Riding Club in Erath County, Texas, says the loss of his son was overwhelming. In order to deal with it, he turned his grief into action.
The Ryland Strong Network was born because I didn't know how to grieve. I've been a paramedic for 23 years. I don't know how to deal with emotion, and so I wanted to help other families. We have three main goals. So we pay for funerals for the families that can't afford to bury their children. When Ryland died, I had over $1 million in medical debt. Then we fund trips like Make-A-Wish trips and stuff like that. And then we do back certain companies for research, and that helps with pediatric cancer. So our goal is to be able to do this in every state all year and really bring out the message of what pediatric cancer is about.
The Servant Souls Riding Club is growing, and with it, support and awareness for the Ryland Strong Network. The Baton Rouge event was organized by the local chapter of Servant Souls. The first chapter formed outside of Texas.
Todd Jekyll is the president of the Servant Souls here in Baton Rouge. And so he was like, we want to do a car show here, so he put all this together and made it happen. The Servant Souls have 4 chapters now. Erath County, where we're at, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, East Texas, and Baton Rouge. As we grow, I'm sure we'll start to expand and do it other places as well. Or that's our goal, at least, right? To try to bring awareness and raise money.
Judging from the turnout and participation, this first ever Baton Rouge event was an overwhelming success, both in raising money and awareness for the Ryland Strong Network. I'm TW. In case you haven't noticed, it's been kind of hot around the Bayou State lately, and August isn't even here yet. One way I beat the heat is to flip the script, so to speak. Rather than ride and eat, I eat and then ride. And one great place in Baton Rouge to start your riding day is Frank's. Sitting at a red light on a 6-lane highway with feel-like temperatures near 100 is never fun. But getting out early is one way to beat the afternoon heat. On days like this, my motto is to get up with the chickens and go have some eggs. And when the light turned green, Scarlett and I headed for breakfast at one of my favorite Baton Rouge restaurants, Frank's. Frank's has been serving up breakfast and lots of other good things for over 60 years. Frank's restaurant. Everybody knows about Frank's and the famous biscuits, don't they? It all began with some very popular biscuits Frank Dedman Sr. was serving up at his Bluebird Drive-In in 1964. 6 years later, he opened Frank's restaurant, and the legacy began. Frank's is open 7 days a week from 5 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. and serves breakfast all day. The menu features just about everything you can imagine for breakfast, plus a few things you probably never thought about. And as the sign over the counter says, it's all good. I thought I knew what I wanted, but I see all this great food going by. I may have to rethink this. But the biscuits made Frank's famous, and that is why I came. I'm just going to go with my original plan, which is the biscuits and sausage gravy.
2 biscuits, put the gravy on top?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you might think that a couple of biscuits does not make a meal, but that's not the case at Frank's, especially when they're smothered in sausage gravy. Nice and hot. She said they'd be right out of the oven, and they are yummy. Frank's is in its 3rd generation. In July 1982, Frank Jr. became a partner in the family business. In 2004, Frank's restaurant in Prairieville opened its doors. And in May 2021, Frank Dedman III took over operations. By the way, Frank's in Baton Rouge also serves lunch, and the Prairieville location serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's at least 2 more good reasons I'll be back for more stories about Frank's. For a good hearty breakfast before a ride, Frank's is the place to go. These biscuits are just to die for. Stay with us. When we come back, we learn that bikers are not only generous, but very patriotic too. I'm T.W. Robinson, and we're here at Road Dawg Custom Motorcycles for the annual Nation of Patriots Jambalaya Fundraiser. The Nation of Patriots is perhaps best known for their annual Passing of the Flag event, in which a single American flag travels by motorcycle throughout all 50 states. Since 2010, the nonprofit organization has worked to raise awareness and financial support for disabled and wounded veterans and their families.
This is year 15 for the Nation of Patriots. Nationwide, we've done really big things for a lot of veterans across the country. Locally here in the Louisiana area, probably 60, 70 veterans families we've helped over the years. Started in 2010. I think you were at our first event back at Baton Rouge, Harley, and it's just grown since then.
It's a great cause. Let's put it that way. You know, personally, my dad was a World War II veteran. He was in the Air Force. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, this country doesn't do enough for our veterans. So when Paul came to me years ago and said, you know, I was down with it, you know, all of the proceeds go towards, you know, helping veterans, and that's what this is all about. You know, open up my shop every year, you know, get people out here, and besides, the jambalaya is incredible. You've had it before, okay? So that's a bonus.
It's a great honor for me to do this for our wounded veterans. As a Vietnam era veteran, it has a really special place in my heart. You know that.
Yeah.
So, and the support I get from Rob in the community is just fantastic.
Now tell me what you do for the veteran.
So we have strict criteria for the veteran to qualify to get funded or get a grant. They have to put in a grant application. They have to be in the VA system, at least 50% disabled, at least one dependent, and they tell us what they need. Are they behind on their bills? Do they need a down payment on a vehicle? Whatever the case may be, the board reviews and approves the grant, and at that point, their needs are taken care of. And it's a great opportunity to help these wounded veterans who have really sacrificed so much for our country.
The bottom line is it helps veterans. It's really that simple. You know what I mean? I mean, what better cause can you think of?
Every penny of every dollar we receive is going to go to a wounded veteran and their family. So no overhead, no paid positions in our organization. And I think about 100,000 people nationwide participate in the tour every year. And we hit all 50 states in the tour. So it's a great honor for me.
This year's Patriot Tour began in Derby, Kansas on May 17th. The flag is scheduled to make 5 stops in Louisiana in September, as it nears the end of its 15th anniversary tour. For more information on the tour and the Nation of Patriots, check out their website, nationofpatriots.com. Here in Louisiana, we like to say, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Well, that sounds good, but as country music legend Jerry Reed said, when you're hot, you're hot. Here in Louisiana, we like to brag that our riding season is year-round, and that's basically true. Although there are a few days in January and February that get cold enough to keep me off the bike and by the fire. Summers in the Bayou State can be pretty brutal, and the heat wave that has hit us lately has been especially challenging. But there are ways to deal with the heat. Keep the sun off your skin, wear breathable clothing like mesh jackets, and stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water. But after nearly 200 miles of 100-plus degree temperatures riding along the back roads of northeast Louisiana recently, I was about to find myself a gas stop with a water hose or a walk-in cooler. But Tammy had a much better idea. A quick stop for a snowball in Columbia. But not just any snowball. Instead, a frozen, icy experience from a place called Hippie Chicks.
TW, you are in for the treat of your life.
It looks like it, except how am I going to decide which
Well,
one I'm going
that
to
will be your biggest problem you've had today.
What's bigger, extreme or supreme? This cool roadside stop is one of the hottest places in Columbia these days. Hippie Chicks is owned and operated by Sisters Macy and Kaylee Arthurs, and people drive 30 miles or more to line up for one of their incredible concoctions.
Where from?
Monroe.
Drove 35 miles to come this place.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear that every time I come here.
Using shaved ice, ice cream, cakes, candies, cupcakes, and all sorts of wonderful goodies, the Hippie Chicks serve up some very delectable and cooling masterpieces.
All right, now I know it's a snowball place and we're supposed to go snow cones and we are riding in 111 degree heat, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going ice cream all the way with a side of cheesecake.
Okay, I'm gonna have the birthday party, even though it's not my birthday. But I'm gonna test it out and then come back for my birthday. As they say, the real proof is in the pudding. Or in this case, the snowball.
Where to even begin? Wow. Oh, I'm so glad mine came out first. All right.
You better get that strawberry twister. It's gone.
Oh, get it. The strawberry is the least thing I want on there because it screams healthy. All right, ready? All right. Well. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. And it's not just because it's 110.
Right.
Okay, I mean, this is so good. Wow.
And how do you eat the cheesecake?
Well, I'm getting down in there. See, there's a technique I have. It's all in the wrist.
Oh, I see.
All right, you get ice cream, you get Cool
that.
Whip, and you get cheesecake. That's how you do that.
Look at that. It's a Hippie Chicks birthday party. Birthday party. Birthday party. And it's not even my birthday.
Hold on. Wait, I missed it.
After one of these, you won't mind riding in 100 degree heat. In fact, you may just jump on your bike to go get one. Hippie Chicks in Columbia. It's definitely worth the ride. Well, that's it. We've come to the end of another show. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of LA Rider and that you'll come back next week for more. Until then, I'm T.W. Robinson. We haven't been everywhere, but it's on our list. See you next week for another great edition of LA Rider. So excited, but
LA Rider is brought to you by the Motorcycle Awareness Campaign, a 501c3 nonprofit organization exclusively dedicated to promoting motorcycle awareness and rider safety throughout Louisiana and the nation.
I didn't see him.
Watch for us.
She just came out of nowhere.
See us.
God, what am I gonna do?
Save us.
Please watch for motorcycles.
God bless chrome cowgirls like us.